If we don't interest in an old flame, this is apparently what's happening with Milan. They're looking at a striker. They used to want the striker. He had a big time summer transfer to the Premier League. He used to play in Serie A with Sassuolo, had a lot of success with Sassuolo. Did you guess who I'm talking about? Not yet. Gianluca Scamacca. Gianluca Scamacca, guys, currently playing for West Ham, who is not having the greatest season. They're at the bottom of the Premier League. And at the same time, Gianluca Scamacca, guys, is not having the greatest season with the West Ham. Only 3 goals in 16 games. He's not having the impact that they hoped he would have. Is he having problems adapting to the Premier League? Most probably. Does he deserve a second chance to come back in Serie A? Maybe show what he can do in a championship that he knows. He knows the language. It's going to be easier for him to adapt. Maybe. Does that mean that he's the right fit for this Milan team? Not necessarily, guys. So we know that Milan is looking for a striker. Giroud still hasn't signed. He's probably going to renew, but it's not done yet. Rebic is probably out the door. Origi hasn't shown much this season. Ibra, are they keeping him for the locker room one more season? We'll see what happens. Colombo might come back. But that is not enough to guarantee anything up front. And so Milan is looking for that type of striker that can give you 15, 20 goals every season. And at this point, I don't think it's Gianluca Scamacca, guys. Why? Because he hasn't developed since leaving Sassuolo. And I think the Sassuolo context helped all 3 players. Why? Because Berardi, I think he's a class over both of them. I was a big advocate of the young kids of Sassuolo, even for the Italian national team, make them play together. But at this point, after a slow season, a disappointing season, I don't think he's what we need. I think out of Sassuolo, it's going to be very different for these 2 players. We see it with Raspadori, even at Napoli. He hasn't had the success that he's had with Sassuolo. Barely plays. Osimhen, Kvaratskhelia are the first picks every week. And so he sometimes fills in. But Scamacca, guys, if you're going to spend over 30 million euros for a striker, I think there's other strikers up there that are more suited for this Milan team. Especially if Leao leaves. We're going to need somebody with a more pace up front that can create some holes, that can drive down the field. I don't think this is Scamacca at this point, guys. Let me know what you think. Write in the comments. Like and subscribe. If you had that much money to spend, I would look at somebody like Højlund from Atalanta. He's a bit younger, not too much. Like I said, Scamacca is still very young. But he's showing a lot of great things and he looks very promising. If you're going to spend that much money, that's all I'm saying. Let me know what you think. Write in the comments, like and subscribe.